So the EG4 18K, I've been using it for quite a few months now, and I haven't had any issues. And I also want to talk about some upgrades that I've made to my system. This system has a lot of power going through it. So far, since the last video, we have more megawatt hours accumulated. From the AC output, we now have 4.2 megawatt hours, and from the solar input, we have 3.4 megawatt hours, which is wild. The rest of the energy was exported or used by another inverter on the other side of the shop. I did expand the system and also made a larger battery. Also, I've added new batteries with new communication protocols, and this thing works seamlessly. I did not update any settings, I just plugged in the battery, and we'll get to that in a second. Also, people on the forum have not complained about this thing, and Signature Solar claims that they haven't had a single return with the 18K. So far, it is my favorite all-in-one unit, and with that said, I'm gonna put it on my website under my recommendations. I do not do that until I've thoroughly tested a product, and previously it wasn't until I put a megawatt hour through it. But after putting 4 megawatt hours through it, and lots of people on the forum using it every day, especially at max output capacity 24/7, we have not found any issues at all, really. This is an actual good product. The software, the hardware, everything. Also the Wi-Fi connection. I still check it every couple of hours to see what my system is doing. And the app is really nice. I've also been changing the settings remotely because it's so much more convenient than coming out here and doing it manually. Like if I want to change the charge settings and put AC charge enable, I just hit that and then set successfully, and there we go. It's done. It works every single time. I've not had an issue with it. And now it's actually charging. Look at that. It's doing a forced charge right now. Now let's disable it. And it's set. And then it stops. That was like 2 seconds. It instantly works. I love that. It works so well that this video is probably gonna be boring because I'm just saying that it works. Also, I've been testing the surge capacity of this unit. So to test this inverter, I bought some construction heaters. This was a suggestion from one of my forum members. These pull 6,000 watts each at 240 volts. And this is a 12,000 watt inverter. So I load down the inverter with 12,000 watts, and then I connect inductive loads to try to trip the overcurrent protection. And so far, I haven't been able to do it. Even running the car lift in this workshop, which always trips high frequency inverters, even when it's completely bogged down with these massive construction heaters, it will still run those motor loads. And it's not very surprising because this thing can start a 5-ton AC on its own. So that's why I haven't really had any issues. I was gonna make all these fun videos, but I wasn't able to trip it. Every test that I had over the last few months, it would pass. So I was like, man, this is gonna be a very boring video. So I waited. I wanted to show you guys if I could find any other issues. And so far, I have not found a single one. This thing is awesome. Now, currently, all of these batteries are connected to the 18K. We have 113 kilowatt hours, and we cycle these every single day. If I have excess power, I export it so I can power loads on the other side of my property. And we are not using the communication system with EG4 batteries. I'm actually using the new Ruxu batteries. And these Ruxu batteries work perfectly with the 18K. I did not change any of the settings. I plugged the blue Ethernet cable into the top battery and it just worked on the first try. Also, this might be my new favorite server rack stack. It's simply nicer than the other options. Like, just look at this organization and design versus the SOK with all these cables on the front, or the EG4 server rack. This bus bar is much thinner and uses smaller screws than what they're using over here. This is like industrial grade, and it's cheaper than these other batteries. But I'm gonna have another video about the Ruxus because we're not sure if the company is good long term. They've had some questionable products in the past, and their support is based in China. So we're gonna see if they're any good. Also, this server rack is on wheels, and once you put it into a spot that you like it, there's leveling feet on the bottom, and it works really well even when it's fully loaded. Also, there's holes on the top so that you can run your cables and communication wires through it. And this door locks, which is really nice. I still don't have a door on my EG4. They still haven't sent one out. And it would be nice if this communication hub actually had a place to be mounted. I mounted it on here with self-tapping screws, but it would be nice if it was built in or something on the door. Like, that would look a lot better. And just the quality of this server rack is not nearly as nice as this. And their rack is welded together. It's not held together with screws like on the EG4. And here is the EG4. This is just not on the same level. It doesn't even have a floor on the bottom. And this bus bar is thinner, and there's not as many threads. The other one has these massive screws with deep threads, and I love that about the Ruxu. And in my opinion, I think it looks a lot better. Imagine if we had 3 of these side by side connected to some 18Ks versus this. Look at these cables in the front and the look of this server rack. It just doesn't look as cool. So I hope these companies start to copy this Ruxu because I really like it. Anyways, let's move on. So for the last few weeks I was actually sick and I got pretty bored, so I started building random things. And this is one of those things. I had an extra rack and an LV6548, so I threw this system together. And I forgot how loud the LV6548 really is. After you get accustomed to running the 18K for months, and then you go back to this, there is no comparison. Also, just the interface and what you can and cannot do, I don't think if you buy an 18K, you'll ever go back to one of these. I think most people should just buy an 18K. You can move it from house to house, you can build off-grid systems, you can build grid tie systems, you can do everything with that unit, and it should last a very long time. This thing feels like a toy now after getting accustomed to 18K. That thing has spoiled me rotten compared to this. Also, they need to change these fans and upgrade some stuff. These are very reliable and they're super budget friendly, but once you get an 18K, I don't think you're gonna go back to this. Now, if you don't need an 18K and you're not trying to back up your entire system, or you need a mobile system that's quite a bit smaller, you can buy a 3 kilowatt all-in-one. And this one, I made a page on my website, and it's now getting more views than all of my 12-volt systems combined. People love this thing. And the 3 kilowatt doesn't get many complaints at all, if any, really. I don't think I've seen anybody complain about it on the forum. The communication protocol works really well. It has a really good surge capacity, has a high voltage input. The only downside is that the minimum voltage for PV is 120 volts, and that can be very difficult to achieve with low voltage panels in an RV or a mobile situation. But if you're building a small backup system to charge off of the grid, or with a small array with panels on the ground, if the grid were to go down, this is the way to do it. So yeah, check out that page if you don't want to buy an 18K, but you still want a reliable communication capable system. That's pretty much it for this video. If you disagree with me, or if you have any issues with this unit, please post it on the forum, or post an issue on YouTube so that we can all see it. But so far, I'm gonna start recommending these and putting them on my website. And yeah, I love it. This is my favorite all-in-one as of right now. And if you need a small one, check out the yellow 3 kilowatt one. That's my favorite small all-in-one right now. And that's pretty much it. I hope you liked the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.